What's up, y'all? It's Colin Sexton. You checking into 3-point conversion. Hey, tune in.
Teach Ron to come in here.
Yeah. Calling him now. Oh, can you please click OK?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ron did not respond. I'll try again.
That person's going to check.
Oh, okay.
We'll wait for another player also.
Okay. Morning, Jackie.
Good morning.
Because it's like a travel. It's like still traveling silence. Okay. Which one do you want? Actually, you go on.
Oh, yes, it's orange. Oh. Pretty much. The time difference. The time difference is.
Oh, Pokey.
How are you?
There you go. Start you something. Pride of Pahokee, Florida, right here.
Yeah. We're all set.
We're all set? All right. All right, thank you, Chelsea and Raquan, for joining us. We're going to start right away with questions from in the room. Go ahead.
Cassandra Negley with Yahoo Sports. You guys get to take a charter flight all the way across the country. For all of us, I think we're all stressed about that trip all the way back. Is there a relaxation going into the next set of games that you'll be able to get there on a charter and have that rest and relaxation that you guys have always talked about?
How can I answer this question? Yes, I don't know if we'll be able to lay down or anything on the plane because it is a long flight from here to Connecticut. So I guess we'll see after the game, but I'm sure it's a lot better that we're able to leave right after the game than wait the next morning to leave and then fly there where you lose time going East Coast. But there's only one day in between 2 and 3. So I guess we'll see once we board the plane.
If I can have one more, like, what's the biggest benefit then for you guys or for you specifically to be able to do that because it is a condensed schedule?
A little bit more sleep, a little bit more time, and a better recovery. If it was a commercial flight, we would be flying the next morning. I don't even know how early the flight is. I didn't see a bunch of like straight flights. Like I saw stops. So we probably wouldn't get there until the afternoon. This way we get there at, 6 a.m. their time, and we get the day to sleep, rest, and we get a full day in Connecticut to get another night of being on East Coast time.
Mark, go ahead.
Mark Schindler, WNBA.com. First of all, congrats on the win yesterday, guys. Actually, a question for both of you. I feel like Jackie Young this entire postseason, especially in the Storm series, with how she shut down Jewel Lloyd, obviously team effort, but she had her primary assignment most of the series. She really flexed those muscles again on defense yesterday as well. Jackie, as you know, does not like to talk about herself that much. So I wanted to ask you guys how you felt about her defense and how pivotal it's been throughout the postseason.
It's just reminded her how great of a defender she is. I know we all have our doubts at times, but keeping her uplifted and reminding her that she's a great defender and she's a great offensive player. And to be able to play on both sides of the ball is tough. So just reminding her how great she is and night in and night out.
Yeah, I would agree. She's been tasked with having the best like wing player, guard player throughout the whole season. And so it's being even magnified now because it's in the playoffs and people have one game to watch or two games to watch in the playoffs. But she's had the assignment of having a tough matchup each time and then go on the court and go on the offensive end and drop 20 sometimes. That's not easy to do. And she's in great shape. So she's able to do both sides of the basketball efficiently. And I think that's the biggest thing too. Like she's gotten in even better shape. So she's able to be locked down and still give a lot on the other end as well.
Next question, second row.
Hey, Chelsea, Jackie Powell, Bleacher Report. I asked Asia yesterday to describe her leadership style. So I want to ask you, how do you describe your leadership style and how does yours and Asia's complement each other?
I would describe mine as kind of fluid. There's times and moments where I try to fill it out of if something needs to be said or if it's just, we just need to be, right? Sometimes there's like power in letting somebody be. And people respond to things differently. I don't talk to Asia the way I talk to Jack or to Bay, or it's all different. And so I would say mine is fluid by like action sometimes and or making plays on, and it's not always going to be the glamorous plays, but it's little things that my teammates notice. And then it's a trickle down effect. And then sometimes it's talking a lot more. I think we complement each other. I'm always talking. And so she's like, okay, I'm gonna pick my spot this time to like really get pumped. But it's a back and forth type of things. And everybody has those moments where they're leading.
First row.
Yeah, Charles, I was wondering if you could go in the way back machine for me, go all the way back to Duke. Such a tough ending.
It's not that far back, Michael.
Well, you're right. Yeah, but obviously it was such an emotionally tough last couple of years for you there, and then your first year in the WNBA, you're watching. What did you learn about yourself during that time that helped you when you weren't able to play? If you will?
It was tough. It was one of the couple hardest years. When basketball gets taken away from you, like, what do you do outside of that? So I think one thing is like to find purpose in other things besides basketball. Like what else can make me happy and fulfill me in different ways? The people I got close to, my circle got a little bit different, got a little tighter, a little smaller. I started like digging deep on what I actually wanted my next few years to look like. I didn't have it directly mapped out. I always tell people that there's a plan, there's a map for you. And if you don't see somebody doing it, just create your own. And I feel like I've done that, been able to create my own narrative, create my own path, because it's been different than a lot of people that come into this league. And so I just learned how to kind of manage that of being my own person.
Second row. And then you.
Somebody take it now.
Chelsea, if you don't mind indulging me in a non-finals question, I don't know if you've even really thought this much about it, but with the World Cup coming up and I know the roster will be finalized, and that might depend on how far the finals go. But I was hoping you could speak to just in general with the old guard kind of on the way out and your new role on that team, how you envision, whether or not, whatever happens to the World Cup, just big picture, what that transition could be like. What are kind of your personal goals in that too, and how you could be the face or one of the faces of the new guard?
Well, there's a selection process every time, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. If I'm like lucky enough to be there and be that guard that people say, it's an honor. It's a pleasure. You know, whenever you have a chance to play and compete for a medal, like a lot of people don't have that opportunity. So you handle it with care, but understand that you're supposed to be there. I have not, I mean, I've had conversations with USA Basketball. We'll see about timing, and we're just focused on the finals right now. But I definitely want to be part of like holding up that legacy and being part of that team. I think we can, you know, continue that. You know, we have experience. There's some people in there that have experience, and there'll be new people. It's always forming, it's fluid. And so that's exciting as well.
To your right in the second row.
This one's for Chelsea. You talked a little bit yesterday about your process and kind of what you're reading when Connecticut puts two on the ball. What kind of emphasis has been placed on where you guys are spacing and who space where with how they like to load up?
You trying to give away all our secrets? Dang. I'll answer that after the finals. I can't give you the game plan of where we got to space people, so I'll give you that afterwards. What happened? Find me, have a conversation.
Connecticut sent you.
Next question, second row center.
Question for you, Bay. Kind of in the same line, talking about defense, like we talked about with Jackie. Your defense has been really important as well, too. You guys really shifted into a lot of zone in the second half yesterday. Obviously, y'all are a lot smaller than Connecticut, and you being able to play up and play on the wing, play against bigger people. What do you think in terms of not even just mindset, but like the way that you guys approached zone yesterday? You guys have had moments of like some zone looking good, zone looking bad throughout the year. What do you think really set the tone for you guys yesterday and making that work as well as it did?
Be physical, force them to make tough shots, make everything difficult and hard. Tire them out a little more. Don't let them get comfortable. That's the biggest thing. Match their physicality and go blow for blow pretty much.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
I'm going to turn to Zoom. I'm going to go start with Christos. Christos, go ahead.
Hello, ladies. Hope you're doing well, first of all. After that, the huge win against the Connecticut Sun in Game 1, how you prepare yourselves for a possible reaction of Connecticut in Game 2?
We come with the same game plan. You tweak different things from each game. You tweak some things offensively, you tweak some things defensively, what you learn, what do you think they're going to do? You know, it's kind of like a chess match before it actually starts. But we'll be ready for Game 2. And our scout, I mean, we'll make some different adjustments on our scout, but we got to come with the same intensity of getting the little things done so the big picture happens.
Next question also from Zoom. Jules, go ahead, Jules.
Thank you very much. Chelsea, I'm wondering, y'all didn't score as much as you normally do. And is that something you're looking to correct in Game 2?
Yeah, I think some of my turnovers prohibited that from happening. When somebody hits the offensive, when a team hits the offensive glass so much, and they were able to get putbacks, it limits us in transition a little bit more. And that's where we thrive. So if we take care of the glass, we'll be able to add some extra points, but it also is the playoffs. So you're not seeing a bunch of, running up and down where you getting 100 to 115 points all the time. Or whatever the case may be. Like, it's not, things get a little bit tighter, you get smarter. Those possessions matter a lot more than they did in the regular season. So if we can take care of business defensively a little bit more, then we'll be able to score more.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Two more questions from Zoom. Start with Rafiq. Rafiq, you'll be followed by Chantel. Rafiq, go ahead.
This is Rafiq with nothing but that sports talk. We look back at the lack of ball control in these final seconds on the way towards barely surviving it. Like, what do you worked on as far as taking care of the ball to prevent the fast break opportunities from the Connecticut Sun, since they've been known for that these last few playoff games?
Spacing and cutting and just making sure I take care of it and be smart with the ball and aggressive.
And how does it feel to watch for the Las Vegas Aces to finally get their first WNBA Finals victory in franchise history?
We can't just focus on just one. I mean, it's a great feeling, but that celebration and that first one is very short-lived because you have a quick turnaround. So you enjoy it and then you regroup and come in and make corrections.
Inside, good luck.
Next question will come from Chantel. Chantel, go ahead.
Chantel Jennings with The Athletic. Chelsea, since Alexa asked you about some Team USA stuff and you were okay with that, I figured I'd ask you a question as well. I've talked with Don Staley and Sue Bird, and they both said that one of the big reasons that they decided to go abroad initially overseas in their off seasons was because they wanted to learn more about the overseas game so they could be like the Team USA point guard. I'm curious for you, 20 years after they made those decisions, are there still things that like spending your off seasons abroad that you learn there that maybe you wouldn't learn as much in the WNBA or that benefits you in Olympic play or World Cup play?
That's a good question. I've never been asked that. I'm trying to think. I didn't go overseas last season. Yeah, I think there's different styles of play. There's different play calls. There's like lingo and talks that, we talk about in USA basketball. You get familiar with some of the players that you play against overseas. So when you see them with their national teams, you're just like, oh, I know that move. I know, what their tendencies are. So I definitely see beneficial factors with that. Sometimes you learn and you pick up different languages and so you can maybe sneak in, oh, I know what they're about to run sometimes. But there's different actions and players and styles that you kind of get accustomed to by going overseas. And so when you come back with USA basketball, you're like, remember that screen that this team does? They're going to do that a lot. And that's referenced amongst the players.
Thanks.
Anyone else in the room? Chelsea, Raquel, thank you.
Thank you. Good job, Chelsea. I was just here to support you.
I can't deal with this. I cannot deal with this. Right. Yeah, please raise questions. Yeah. All right. Addison and Natisha, we're just trying to round up a few people out on the court, so bear with us a minute. And we're letting people in on Zoom. You want to start, Mark? Yeah, okay.
Let Matt go ahead.
All right, we'll start here in the room, second row.
Yeah. Mark Schindler, WNBA.com. First of all, hope you guys are doing well today. Secondly, Natisha, question for you. Your defense this entire postseason, I think, has been really good. And obviously throughout the season as well. But when you're looking at some of the matchups you've had to take throughout the year, and how that's kind of leaked into what you guys are doing now, how have you felt about how you've grown as a defender throughout the year?
Yeah, it's just that's something I'm working on every day. My teammates hold me accountable there. So just doing the best I can and trying to play tendencies. And I got some of the best defenders on my team helping me and staying in my ear, telling me, tendencies and just certain things to do better.
All set? All right, and we're going to turn to Zoom. We'll start with Rafiq. Rafiq, go ahead.
This is Rafiq with Nothing But That Sports Talk. A question for Odyssey Sims. How much have you embraced this playoff run on your way to your first finals appearance up until this point?
Can you repeat that? I couldn't hear you.
I said, how much have you embraced this whole playoff run up until game one of your first WNBA finals appearance?
This is actually my second WNBA finals appearance. And I'm happy to be here. I think this team is special and the things that we can do. Just learning from game one, taking the momentum into tomorrow so we can come out with a win.
Appreciate the insight. Good luck.
All right, and we'll turn to Jules. Jules, go ahead.
Thank you very much. My Questions to Odyssey. I heard previously, Kurt Miller, y'all had a discussion when you came on and you wanted to be an energy player. Why was that role important for you to fulfill?
I just think I get a chance to show my personality a little bit more. And it's fun, you know, having energy on the bench translate to the first group that's on the court, of course. Having energy at all times is very important. And I think me and Dejanay would take pride in that. But our energy off the bench or on the bench won't change. We're just going to make sure we have more momentum going into game 2.
Good luck.
We'll return to the room.
Yeah, so jumping off that too, obviously you've been a star player throughout your career too, and you know, transitioning to being more of a bench player, especially on a team this good. When you're, you know, approaching the game, does that change your mindset at all, or you know, what is that like for you becoming more of a bench player and factoring like that?
I've embraced my role since I've been here. It's not about minutes you play or a lot of minutes that you do play. It's just an opportunity. Like I said, I'm surrounded by great players on my team. And me and Kurt's conversation was what it was. You know, that's not something to talk about. But like I said, my energy on and off the court won't change. I know I have a big role. So I just want to keep motivating my team, challenging each other within ourselves and collectively as a group.
I think we're going to return to Zoom. I believe Meredith has a question. Meredith, go ahead.
Hi there. Question for either or both of you. When you have a game that ends and you know it comes down to the wire the way that last night did, do you, or I'm getting my days confused. Oh yeah, last night, sorry. How do you keep yourself motivated rather than feeling deflated by that outcome when it's so close in hand that way?
I would just say it's a series for a reason. We have the opportunity to work on what we need to work on and go back and watch film and see what we need to do better. And I think that's the best part of it. Each team has the opportunity to do what they need to do. Obviously, I would say just, you know, losing that close to the game, it's definitely not deflating. It just gives us confidence that, you know, we didn't necessarily play our best game and we only lost by 3 points.
All right, well, staying with Zoom, we're going to go to Ned. Ned, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Natisha. Regarding the offense yesterday and the struggles you guys were going through, that just a matter of you just weren't knocking down shots you know guys normally would, or was there anything more to that?
Yeah, we just weren't knocking down shots. That's pretty much the gist of it. If we're not making shots, we're not gonna win against a really, really good Las Vegas team. We just not, if we're not making shots, we're not gonna win. I mean, we held them to the lowest points they scored all season, I believe. So that's a credit to our defense, but we got to step our offense up.
Returning to the room for a question.
Yeah, Natisha, question for you. You know, looking at where this team was at 3 years ago, which feels like so much longer than that when you guys are back in the finals. How do you feel you've grown most as a player since then? I know obviously it's been you weren't a rookie then, but it's been a while. So like, how do you feel you've grown most on and off court, and things that you've maybe taken over the last couple of years that you wouldn't have had then?
Yeah, I would just say like 2019 being in the finals. I didn't have as big of a role back then, but it's just like it's the same feeling. Like you work with a team and you get so close with a team, y'all go through everything, the ups and downs, the highs, the lows together. And like, this is kind of everything reflecting like the championship game is everything reflecting everything we've been through together. So just to be here and be in this moment again is very, very special. And this team is very, very special. And we were there once, we're here again. Obviously it's a different group, but we have everything that we need, everything, all the players, all like the right coaches, we have everything that we need. We just have to go do it.
All right, we have no more questions from Zoom. Odyssey, Natisha, thank you.